And a box of Tic Tacs.
Gross.
Nice.
Some wet naps. What?
Oh, God.
Did I go there?
But no, I mean, it has potential. I mean, you filled out the form. It'll be interesting to see what you get back.
Are they going to put them all in the neighborhood? Again.
You're the one that
read the article next time.
I don't read. Oh.
So not only
he doesn't even read what you put.
You don't read what I write. You don't read what anybody else writes that you send to us.
But yet he'll fill out a form.
No, I did the other day.
Can I send him a form to fill out?
Right.
Just don't have him do your taxes.
Power of attorney.
On our show topic thread we send out, Dave sends out a link, and I was writing out the reply. Well, you should really talk about Google Nest too. And I go, wait, I didn't click the link Dave sent.
Oh, yeah, disaster averted.
And it was all about Google Nest.
No one yells at me, Karen, more than he does when I don't read. He's like a child. Like, you didn't read my thing.
No, actually, his feelings are hurt. That's what it is.
You didn't
Nobody reads anything that I write.
Neither of my co-hosts ever read the outline. They don't know what we're going to talk about when they show up. And I do that in advance.
They're not even aware that I do an outline.
Do you know, Dave? Do you know why?
You're not in your
because you
boat
never
alone.
share it.
It's just in the notes.
Yeah,
it's mine.
Keep it going.
Mine.
No, it's usually the transcript of the email thread.
Right. I should just print out the email thread. It's be like 16 pages every Monday night.
So are we talking about Google Nest?
So, yeah, with the whole Google Nest thing, I mean, there's all the stories that are coming out now about, okay, so why did Google pay billions and billions of dollars for a thermostat company?
Turns out they don't really care what you do in your house.
Well, no, they do. They don't really care. They don't really care what the temperature is in your house. What they care about is that. So the folks from Nest were actually the ones that were working on the protocols to make all of your appliances talk to each other. So the whole thing about you see the commercials.
The plot thickens.
Internet of Things.
Exactly. So it's not just the when do you come and go from your house and when do you cook something.
Wasn't there a thing like Whirlpool had the refrigerator that had the TV in it and
they still do
the radio
Still do.
or whatever?
Yeah.
So that's what they're talking about, like tying into that type of stuff.
And
so you kind of internet on your refrigerator.
Yep.
So if you're a tinfoil, if you come into my house and you're a tinfoil hat guy,
right,
and you have the connect with the camera looking at the living room, you have a couple IP cameras looking at the front and back door, you have Google Nest checking out temperature, you have webcams on the computers, you got wireless networks. I mean, that guy's in a panic running out of my house.
Oh yeah, most likely.
And here's Google. They know what I search for. They know every email I've ever written for the last 8 years. How long have we been using Gmail? They know the temperature. What else do you know besides the temperature? Here's the thing, though. They want all this data. What do they know other than when I come and go out of my house? Do they want to know that?
Yeah.
What was that cartoon I sent out? Like, my house is on fire, and I just got it.
My house must be the guy at work.
Yeah,
my house must be on fire.
I'm
Google
AdWords for a fire extinguisher and a
places
hose.
to live.
but like Nest is so smart; it knows when you come and go because of the temperature, the heat sink.
The ambient temperature in your house.
Right.
What is that?
It's a learning
Don't talk
thermostat.
like that around me.
Is that a tough word for you?
I don't know what the hell the ambient talking about. What the hell are you talking about?
But your realtor friend would know.
I don't know. Is he the? Yeah, he would.
Yeah, he would
I should
actually.
text
Yeah,
him, see if he knows.
Yeah, he'd be a target market for this.
But like, why does Google want to know that?
That's the big $1 million quote. Or
Speaking of Google,
$4 billion.
When did their powers of good go to evil? When?
Say that again.
When do their powers of good go to evil? There's a time.
Well, their motto is don't do
no evil.
Do no evil. Don't be evil or whatever.
Yeah, but
and now they are evil.
Yeah, but
they're the new Microsoft.
It's getting worse.
It is getting worse. Speaking of Google, they just had another huge $400 million acquisition on some artificial intelligence company
that actually thinks.
So now you've got Google buying an artificial intelligence company,
an AI company out of England.
They bought Boston Dynamics, which does the robots, and now you've got that gel that reanimates when you break it apart.
That heals itself. Yep.
So
polymagnetic alloy.
Right. So renamed Google the Terminator.
Can't they just make crap like Chromecast so I can put YouTube on my TV and just leave it alone? So why you got to do all that?
Be too good.
Why
when did Google buy YouTube? By the way, was that 2005?
It's been a few years.
I'm sick. I like having a pseudonym on YouTube so I can talk crap. Now I got to have.
You can't do it now. Now everything's Google Plus, right?
Garbage.
You were talking about that before when you switched over from Firefox to Chrome. Now everything's like sync with your phone.
Everything.
Right.
I'm so locked in. I don't want to create fake accounts.
Well, then you forget where you're emailing from, right? Have you ever had that problem with all your pseudonyms or whatever? Like you got a big red flag in your Firefox that says, "Oh, you're logged in as my
enough when I know like
no, actually I have completely different instances of the browser execution.
No, he has like David and like you could tell it's him writing too on some things. It's like David and like a fake last name. I'm like, I know that's you.
I've known him long enough to understand how he talks. Like he types like he talks.
I do too.
Well, not as bad as he does.
But what again, what's we talk about the end game all the time, right? Like what Google never really talks about what their end game is.
Well, that was the big thing about this latest acquisition. They were saying that Google has this enormous amount of data that they don't share with anyone.
Right.
No one.
What do they do with it? Again,
no one knows.
Well, and that's the big question. So I mean, even so you've got this whole blow up between.
It's actually worse than the government.
Oh yeah, so there's this whole blow up now between Facebook and
all of our
Princeton.
emails.
Yeah,
we're the only company that's got all of it.
Right.
Well, if you use Gmail.
So did you catch the Facebook Princeton nonsense that was going back and forth?
No.
So basically, there was a study that came out of Princeton that said, okay, Facebook will essentially lose 80% of its user base.
Oh yes, I did see that. Yeah. It's a virus type of thing.
Yeah. And they used reverse viral mapping and yada yada.
That's actually there's something to be said about that.
Well, but then Facebook came back and said, "Oh, really, geniuses? Because using your same algorithms, here's the decline of Princeton. And oh, by the way, if we use your same math, the Earth runs out of air in 2060."
Well, the clock is ticking.
I did not see the rebuttal. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't see that either. That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
So, but part of that whole thing was okay. So Facebook, but part of the whole thing from Princeton was okay. So Facebook, even assuming they do quote unquote go away, they start losing their user base and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and go away, like what do they mean by go away? Because
they lose. So they lose 80% of their user base, and then they transform from a social media network or a social network. Well, to what at that point? Because they are sitting on a huge amount of data that everybody has voluntarily given them and provided them.
Right.
And what do they then do with that?
And I don't know how they would monetize that legally, because you've got
why would it be legal? It's data you gave them.
But isn't the beauty of Facebook?
I don't know.
Isn't the beauty of Facebook though that I'm telling marketers what I like, so the stuff that they give me, I don't mind seeing. Like Bob likes Jägermeister. I see a Jaeger ad. I'm not going to go, you bastards. I'm going to be like, oh, cool, Jaeger. Like shot glasses. I'm going to order them.
Yes,
do you follow what I'm saying?
Yes
so
and
no. I'm kind of opting into the stuff I like. So it's a marketer's dream. I'm telling them what I want. I'm telling them what I like.
Well,
it's
a marketer's dream if the marketer is smart. So, and this gets into that whole, the whole thing about the Obamacare ad that showed up right after the, hey, this is how insecure the Obamacare website is. Here's how insecure healthcare.gov is, and on that
it's
article,
all keyword matching.
Right,
I understand that.
Well, but that's dumb marketer. That's give me the vanilla, whatever.
They had a table up at the auto show. Did you see that?
Facebook also, they keep track of everything. So like if I go in and I like something and I go back, a month later and unlike it. Like if I go in and look at my activity stream and say, oh, I liked that back in March of 2012, and I click on delete this and unlike it, it doesn't delete it. It just removes that entry. And Facebook has that original like. It saves that original like. Because they're using that for the sidebar advertising. Right.
Entries. Well, we've talked about it. As soon as you start typing,
they're not actually deleting anything.
No, as soon as you start typing, they save your drafts.
Right. They save it.
Even if you decide not to post it, they still have it.
Right, and that's why all that stuff pops up. Even if you're like, anti this, anti that, they're still going to show you ads for everything that you're anti for.
Well, why people are getting pissed off at Facebook?
Because their moms are joining it and liking you?
You know what? I don't care if my dad's on Facebook or my aunt.
But that's why the generation behind us is they're dumping it.
Because they're to watch. But people are pissed because you can't see like all my friends' feeds. It has to hit a certain
advertising.
Like. Yeah. It has to hit a certain like.
Yep.
And half my feed is all the sponsored pages.
Yes.
So like they said, like if you put out a really good post, you only be seen by like 15-20% of your friends.
Yeah.
Right. But you can get around that.
That's why people with like 1,000 friends, they say, "Oh my god, I got married," and like you should have like 1,000 likes, but you only have like 100 likes
on your Facebook account. Do you actually go in and like I know like the three of us like bars and like there's certain establishes, but do you actually go in and like a million different businesses?
No,
because that will influence your feed.
No.
Well, and not only that, but things I do. But
you gotta earn my likes,
right? But things
so stupid.
But even the things I like, I go in and I'll change my notification settings from them. Like I don't need to
show a newsfeed.
I don't need to get notified about that kind of nonsense. And by the same token, you can control who shows up in your feed.
I don't.
If you're not seeing, but
I don't cancel anybody. But the problem is, they're not publishing.
Dude, I'm not talking about negatively. I'm talking about positively.
I know.
So I mean, yes, it's easy to go say hide from newsfeed.
What were we talking about, by the way? How'd we get on this?
Wouldn't you? Google data, Facebook, Google.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, you can go in and put somebody in a different group and have that group always in newsfeed. Like I did that with you two guys. That way, I make sure whenever something comes across from you two, I'm going to see it.
Too much work.
Right.
The stuff I subscribe to should be there. I don't need to go and get into.
Okay, but then how do you differentiate between the 500 bar friends that you have that are, hey, here's what I'm having for lunch. Hey, here's what I'm having for dinner. Hey, and then something you actually want to pay attention to.
Or an advertisement from that bar saying, hey, we have a special. Hey, we have a special.
I don't know. I hit it like twice a day. I don't know. It's stupid. It's stupid.
So again, you just
it could go away. It could go away tomorrow, and I could give two shits.
It's the free service that I use.
All right, so Dave being the techno geek, I, at the risk of bringing up the NSA yet again,
right?
Because I know we've talked about it to the nth degree, but how is Facebook using apps like Angry Birds to spy on us? I don't understand how.
How is Facebook?
No, the NSA. Excuse me, the NSA using Angry Birds and those types of things to spy on us.
I never liked Angry Birds to begin with.
I love Angry Birds,
which
is why this annoyed me. But no, so the whole point of it is they are what they call "quote unquote" leaky apps, which means
I read that. I just don't understand.
Right, so it broadcasts information about you even when you don't think it's broadcasting information about you,
like location data.
Right. So like if you like,
who cares where I'm at?
The NSA does.
Apparently the government.
Yeah. Sorry. Every time we're on a conference call, we talk about the bomb. I'm like, yeah. The bill of materials. You guys really got to be careful on how you know.
Yeah, right. No, but so leaky apps like that, and that's that's what they're trying to come out with.
So it's not necessarily just Angry Birds. It's they're just using that as an example.
And they were using Facebook. I mean, the Facebook app is a prime example of it.
But that's something that you opt into. Like I actually have location services turned off on Facebook. So are you telling me that even though on my phone I have location services turned off for Facebook, Facebook itself is still a leaky app?
Yes.
Went to White Castle last week
because here's the thing, because even though you have
that's a different kind of leaky.
So even though you
same actually it's pretty close to
save it.
No, but so even though you have location services turned off, it's not until you are performing the action with them that it then receives what you're sending and says, okay, and that was one of the points in that article that we were talking about,
right?
That they receive it and it has all that data in it.
They immediately delete it,
and then it strips it. Well, in that time before it strips it, it's still there and available and can get pulled out.
The NSA says, "Oh, well, thank you very much."
Right.
I'm sick of going to news sites from Washington Post or New York Times, or if I'm reading a news story from another city,
right?
It's like, do you want to share your location? I'm like, no. And I don't get why they want to know.
Because they want to know where their readers are coming from.
Not only that, but they want to tailor the news for you because they're trying to perform a customer service. Like they want to say, okay, well, you're Michigan-based. Here's Metro Detroit type news.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but still, Angry Birds. Though, I'm with Jeff. I don't get what they can do with it. Like, who cares? Like, what does the NSA want with my leaky data?
But again, again, it gets back to that whole the thing we've talked about before. Where why does the NSA care about you to begin with? Like that's the part that makes me laugh. Like everybody who gets their tinfoil hat on about this nonsense has a hugely inflated ego. Because I'm sorry, the NSA does not give a shake of a rat's ass about what you or I do. They just don't.
I haven't changed a thing I've done.
Well, and why would you bother?
Exactly.
Because I mean, there's nothing, but
seeds, man.
But again, the tinfoil hat. Well, but the data's out there, and and then it's the unlawful search and privacy and who cares? Once you're not doing anything wrong, you don't.
Once they start doing like that, that doesn't bother me as much as them doing the checkpoints. Checkpoints, I got a problem with.
Checkpoints. What are you talking about?
Different states, they do random checkpoints on the highway.
Oh, in Ontario? Are you talking about I know.
You're
talking about sobrieties?
No, you're talking about that voluntary study they were doing.
Oh, the saliva test.
There's lawsuits that are coming out.
There's more.
In Texas,
but there's videos out now on just saying, when they ask citizenship, they're just asking like citizenship, and then you just basically answer, "Am I free to go? Am I being detained?"
Right.
Fourth Amendment. You can't. And then they'll bring the drug dog, and then they show that how they can trip up the drug dog to give you access to their.
Right.
They basically do a false positive.
Well, they just
I got a problem with.